I would like to call to order the City of Lloydminster City Council meeting, the regular council meeting of Monday, September 25th. And this time we'll take a silent moment of personal reflection. As a reminder, all members of council are obligated to declare a conflict or of interest or a pecuniary interest as per section 133 of the Lloydminster Charter regarding any item on the agenda. I will ask for any additions or deletions to the agenda at this time. City Manager.
Your Worship and Council, a couple of matters. I just noticed that Don Stang was present at the last meeting. I believe he was acting city manager, so that should be recorded. If you could. And the other thing is that we do have a noted in-camera session that is we no longer require.
All right, thank you. So that would be item number 12 that is struck from the agenda. All right. I know that for the minutes come up more later. Any other additions or deletions? Not seeing any, I would look to council for direction on the agenda presented. Councilman Rowe.
That the agenda dated September 25th, 2017 be accepted.
Approved as amended.
As amended, sorry.
Thank you. Councilor Fagman, seconder. Any further discussion? Not seeing any, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now I'll look to council for direction on the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting with the amendments. Councilman Rowe.
The regular council minutes dated September 11th, 2017 be approved with the amendment.
Seconder, Councilor Baker. Any further discussion? Not seeing any, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Any other business arising from those minutes? Not seeing any. I'll move on to item number 6, public presentation and acknowledgements. Not aware of it. Thank you. Moving on to item number 7, the agenda, new business. City Manager, I see no information at this time regarding, or?
I would like to make some verbal presentations to them. First of all, the servers are going to be down when we do some transition to the new diamond, and I'd like Director of Communication Neil here to give you a little bit of a heads up of what's going to be happening.
Yes, just very briefly, we've been consulting with our IT team regarding public communications. Some of our services will be down temporarily for approximately 30 days. Our online services for tax certificates, which our understanding primarily impacts local legal services. We get about 40 transactions there on average every month. Those services will be temporarily unavailable. As well, our e-billing, I guess we could call it, our utility bill payment service will be down for approximately the same time, starting in mid-November, carrying through till mid-December. We estimate approximately 600 regular users of that service will be impacted. There's about 1,100 users total. 600 of them are fairly active in using that service to pay their bills online. So we'll be following up with a communications campaign starting almost immediately to make those impacted parties aware through some of the regular channels. We'll do some public notification. We'll actually be contacting some of those impacted people directly. Doing our best to ensure that everybody's aware and how they can make payments alternatively while the services are down.
Thank you. That's, I think communication, you hit it very well. That's the most important factor that we need to ensure people are aware. And we have various methodologies, so we'll employ them all. So,
A couple more issues for your information. Just wanted to also touch base and let you know that we held a conference last week on bordering on disaster. It was very well attended, over 200 participants from across provinces, two provinces, two really fine guest speakers, and some rooms where we had some various topics. It went very well. Just wanted to also thank the staff that took that on, to put that conference on. They did a very good job, led by Jordan, our fire chief, and a couple of EAs, Wendy and Charlene, and I think Marie Pierre Cote was involved, and a number of other staff, and there was also some volunteers involved. So I just wanted to let you know that it went very well, and it certainly gives pause for a moment on the whole area of security, especially in large gatherings and so forth. And the other thing that you might see is that there's some renovations going on at City Hall, so I just wanted to let you know that that should be done by the end of the week, and so that you can, the mayor won't be hearing the pounding going on on a conference call. So. And we are, just one update, we are in the process of shortlisting now to go for CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and also looking at gathering more names for the Executive Manager of Operations. So those two positions are being addressed right away. And a couple of matters that I'd like to bring to GPC going forward. One is the council's role on agency boards and committees. I'd like to set in place with council a policy that we could identify what your role is on some of those boards and committees. And the other one is to follow up on where we're going to go with legalization of marijuana. So those two areas I'd like to bring to GPC in the future. Okay, that's about it.
thank you, City Manager. Two very important items. The second one is definitely dominating the news much more than the first, but we'll be ready to discuss that for sure. Anything from the office of the city clerk? Thank you. And we're waiting patiently for our chief financial officer, so we'll look forward to that. Moving on to community development services. To the city manager, 7.4.1.
Mr. Worship and Council, we have before you a request to award the construction of the landfill cell 1.3. I'll ask Dawn to provide you further information.
Thank you, City Manager, through your worship and fellow council. Today we have before you the construction award for the landfill cell 1.3, which is currently being designed to build the landfill to expand our operational needs. There was a pre-qualification process that went out to find qualified contractors that met the qualifications required for this type of construction. There is some specific needs when you're looking at building a landfill cell. There's requirements from environmental considerations and those forth. So we wanted to make sure we had a contractor in place that had experience in putting these types of liners in place. So we had a pre-qualification package went out, and we have 6 qualified contractors chosen from that pre-qualification list. The tenders went out on August 15, 2017 and closed on September 8, 2017. Out of those 6 pre-qualified, we had 5 bids submitted, and the results are as follows. The construction of this project is anticipated to start early October 2017 upon approval by council, with primary earthworks being completed before the end of December 2017. Construction will resume in the spring of 2018, with construction expected to be completed by June 30th, 2018, which was a timeline that was set for us to need to move into a new cell based on airspace left on our existing cell. We're looking for council to approve the award of the Lloydminster Cell 1.3 construction tender to BTO Contracting Limited for a cost of $2,735,770 plus GST. Alternatively, council could receive the Lloydminster landfill Cell 1.3 construction tender as information and direct administration to bring back further information to present at a future council meeting. From a budget perspective, in 2017, a total of $3 million was budgeted for our 2017 capital budget for the construction of landfill Cell 1.3. Out of this budget, $145,000 has been allocated for consulting fees, which includes design, geotechnical, and testing, and construction management. And $1,950,000 has been allocated for construction costs in 2017, as per schedule discussed prior. Including, this includes a 10% contingency for a total of $2,000,95,000 total spent in 2017. Administration will be looking to carry over $1.2 million into the 2018 capital budget, which will be used to pay the consultant fees, construction fees, and 10% contingency through the completion of the project. So I'll pass it back to you, Your Worship, for further discussion.
Thank you. Executive Manager Stenning. Council, any questions or comments? Councillor Peggy.
What would the life expectancy be of the 1.3 cell at our current?
Thank you, Your Worship, through Councillor Pegman. That's something I'd have to get exact timelines. I don't want to guess them and provide you, but I will. I'll get you an answer for that.
I'm just kind of curious.
Councillor Morrison?
Yep. Thank you, Your Worship. I was just curious on the allocation of the budgets here, because there was $3 million budgeted for this year. We're looking at a total of $2,095,000. So the other $905,000 is just going to be not used, but I guess the even more confusing part for me now is the $1.2 million is going to be carried over. So really, we're only planning on spending $895,000 this year of the $3 million budget. I said a lot of numbers. Are we only planning on using $895,000 of the $3 million budget and then having a $1.2 million budget next year to complete the rest of the work?
Thank you, Your Worship, through Councillor Thorson. My assumption is we'd be spending close to $2 million this year, carrying over $1 million into 2018.
Okay.
But I can.
No,
that's how I interpreted it.
Just because the total bid works out to $2,095,000 with the 10% contingency, and then we're going to be carrying over 1.2 into next year. That's where my confusion is, I guess. Under 3.
We'll be carrying over from the 3 budgeted
Yeah.
for 2017 of that.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, so you're planning on spending the other 1.8 this year?
Yeah, it'll be 1.950 this year plus a 10% contingency. This year, 2017.
Okay.
So we'll get the work done hopefully by the end of December
Okay.
on that part of it. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry for the confusion. Yeah, that's how I interpreted. We are spending 2/3 of the budget this year with an anticipation to carry over a third into 2018. We're hoping to get a bulk of the earthworks completed this year prior to year end. We'll need to come back and do some work, obviously, once the weather is advantageous for us, and they'll be cleaning up the project and paying out all the remaining contract in 2018.
Okay, very good. I got it figured out. My question was goofy now that it's something else. Thanks.
Councillor Baker.
Thank you, Richard. We have $3 million, and we're going to spend how much?
Just a hair over $2 million, I believe, this year.
No, I don't care. For this pit, we're going to spend how much?
We're
Everything
going to spend $2,735,770,000 on the contractor,
right?
and we will also be spending relatively $145,000 on consulting fees over the life of the project. So we're we're pretty close to 2.9 million-ish.
Okay, but you're in budget, so that's
Yeah.
good. When it carried over, winter's coming and there's probably some things that are gonna be tough to do in the middle of winter.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. For the most part, large capital projects do get carried over year over year over year. In some cases, we end up being on a 3 or 4 year capital project, but we're anticipating to have it completed by June 2018.
And my second question, looking at the map, I mean, it's kind of hard to figure out, I mean, it doesn't matter. The tonnage, my question is similar to Councillor Glenn's. In terms of tons or volume, or how do you calculate that? Or how many cubic meters, or like, is that good for 2 years? Is that based on the average, or?
Yeah, I'll have to get some further clarification on how long or how much airspace this will give us from a time perspective. I don't want to make up numbers and provide you false information, so I will do some digging into that.
Like, does it cost us 10 cents a ton to dig the hole, or does it cost us $2 a ton to dig the hole? You know that?
Absolutely. And we'll look forward to that executive manager to provide that answer.
Your Worship, and just one more question. So how will this pit look different than the ones you currently have? Same design, same format, or something different?
Yeah, no, they're all pretty much the same. They're essentially a hole in the ground with a liner that collects leachate, brings it to a leachate collecting. So leachate is the fluid that comes off the landfill. But the liner is important because you don't want it, you want to restrict any permeation through the soil to the water table. So they're pretty high-tech liners that go into the construction of these. So,
Yeah,
I hope that answers your question.
yeah. And I guess the thing I was thinking about is as a reference point, if we had, our other pits, how long have they been in existence, and how many have we added over a period of time since we've begun using them? So I guess sort of trying to extrapolate that out. So we had one more pit now. Are we good for another 20 years, or because it's kind of around? I guess probably the same questions that others have been asking, but.
Yeah, I was involved in landfill cell 1.2. I think we constructed that back in 2011.
Okay.
Also, it's around 5 years,
6, 7
which is the number I wanted to. That was on the tip of my tongue, was a 5-year type airspace, but I'd rather get concrete information.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Question I had, I think you answered it, Executive Manager, was we can live with June 30th with the present landfill, that we're not, it's going to be tight, but I believe all indications is that the landfill will be able to handle and make it through till June 30th without too many problems.
Yeah, it won't last until June 30th. There's probably some wiggle room in there, but we'll be able to manage. The important thing is to get construction started as soon as possible so we can have it completed and ready for usage at our earliest convenience.
So, any other questions, Council? This came to GPC, so we had a chance to see this some time ago, which we appreciate. It's a heads up, and it was in the budget. That was passed last year, but certainly because of issues, it didn't. We were hoping for a 2017 complete construction season, but that did not happen. So,
Your Worship, I just got a text from one of our managers in environmental services. The time frame of this cell is about 3 years, and that's just based on the size and the depth we were able to go with this landfill. So this will give us another 3 years. And as we build out our plan, we do have a master plan for our landfill that talks about where we move once cell 1.3 is built up. Obviously, we start moving upwards rather than outwards. So we'll be coming forward with plans for the next phase over the next couple of years.
all right. So that, I hope everybody got that. 3 years is what we're expecting on the landfill. So to give an answer, that's $1 million a year is what a landfill costs. Before the operational cost, that's simply the capital cost of the landfill. So people ask about what does garbage cost, and we can tell you now it's worth $1 million plus. Easy to say when you go and buy it that fast, but from that perspective. Council, you've been given the information. What's the wishes of council? I'll look to council for direction. Counselor?
The council approved the award of the Lloydminster Landfill Cell 1.3 construction tender to BTO Contract Limited for a cost of $2,735,770 plus GST, and the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign and seal all necessary documents to allow construction of Cell 1.3 be completed in a timely fashion. But I did right for the right spot there. Good work. Yeah, okay, works.
Seconder? Counselor Baker? Any further discussion, council? Questions? If not, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
If it's in order, Your Worship, just an interest for the public, the information that Director Don just gave us, you know, telling the people that information, letting them know what's going on, and give you a good perspective of what it, like you said earlier, what it really costs to deal with this issue of garbage. It's one of the most challenging we've got, really.
Absolutely, next wastewater, and it's totally government regulated. The liner that's being constructed is to meet the code of the day and ensure that we properly manage a landfill. And I think anyone can go back to many years ago, there was no liners in garbage.
It's not just a hole in the ground anymore.
That's absolutely right.
If I can add to that, Your Worship, I know there's been recent conversation about our leachate system as well, so that's something we'll be bringing forward to a future GPC to give you some information around what our leachate system currently is and where we need to go in the future to be able to manage the leachate from the landfill as well. So just as information, there is more to come.
Terrific.
$2,700 a day.
$2,700 a day, Councilor Diachuk. You're quick on the numbers.
Wow.
Larson's not quite back from older.
Yeah, I was wondering where Councilor was. But it's also $100 per person, right? If you multiply it by our population, it's $100 a person. So it's not cheap to run waste management for sure. The other thing I would like to let you know is we will do a media release and explanation to the community as to what this is all about.
Yeah, excellent. I think that will provide adequate information. Yes. Good. All right, moving to 7.4.2, to the city manager again. 2020.
Thank you, Your Worship and Council. I'd like to invite Joel Turcott to the podium here. This is with respect to the 2020 Saskatchewan Summer Game bid. He was there last time I looked.
He is, he's on his way. Good afternoon, Joel.
Good afternoon, thank you, Your Worship, Council. Through your city manager, we are getting ready for the Saskatchewan Summer Games bid. This bid is due October 16th, so to bid on this, we need a resolution. The council supports the bid application for the 2020 Saskatchewan Summer Games, and that all city facilities be provided at no cost. The city be responsible for any deficits incurred for hosting the games. If you have any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them.
So I guess the first question that comes to mind, so once if council grants the appropriate resolution, the application will go in, and when we just wait patiently for the next round, what steps can we expect afterwards?
Thank you, Your Worship. Once the application is completed and handed in on October 16th, there will be a site visit to the Saskatchewan Games Council sometime between October 24th and 29th. We'll show them our facilities, let them know what would happen if the games are hosted in Lloydminster, and the decision is then made November 14th to 17th. We'll hear back.
Oh, okay. I guess the other question I'll ask is, in the past, I kind of got some information on this, but you're asking the council to accept any deficit that may be incurred. What is the track record history of the Saskatchewan Summer Games? I think we have some from our city, but other games in the province hosted. Are we in a position that we should be budgeting money in 2020 because we're out of ways, but what can you tell us about the financial implications that you know of to date? And I I'm not going to hold you to saying this is what you said exactly today, but can you give us some insight on that?
Thank you, Your Worship. Most Saskatchewan summer games do not cost the municipality anything. Sometimes get in kind and that kind of thing. I believe that the last games that actually showed a deficit was in 2010 in Moose Jaw. Since then, it's been a great track record. Some communities have actually profited a very small amount to the games.
Just that Saskatchewan has recently, probably in the last couple of years, increased their support to the municipalities. So their funding available to the communities has increased significantly, which helps become more profitable through the process.
So just a quick question, I guess I'm thinking that in sort of return on investment economic development model, we would have how many athletes roughly and the parents and whatnot coming to the community over, is it a 2-week or a 4-week period? I'm just can't remember how that is. I can't remember if it's staggered, because one of the games has a half and then another half or something to that effect. But basically, I'm just thinking that every restaurant and hotel would be certainly in the front line of benefiting, if you like, from the community.
Absolutely, through your worship, to Councillor Dijak. I believe it's 1 week. I'm getting my mind trapped whether it's over in Saskatchewan myself, and I apologize for that. But I believe it's a 1 week. Thank you, Councillor. There is a STEAM application that was done on the City of Estevan's summer games. It was a $5 million economic increasement. I believe there's about 1,500 athletes that come. I'm not sure if they know exactly how many mom and dads, grandparents, and whole that's come.
Good. No, it's good. Thank you.
Well, it's an excellent shot in the arm. The one concern, and it's not a concern, but certainly I hope we've got it covered off, because we're going to be hosting Pinty's Grand Slam of Curling the 24th to the 29th. And what a terrible time if the host committee can't find hotel rooms to have those visitors that are visiting our city. I think it'll be a great time to show off our city. It'll be very busy in the C facilities, but just making sure that we've got a place for them to stay or accommodations looked after, because if they don't realize it, they may find it just a little tougher finding hotel rooms, potentially. I don't know what the situation is exactly, but just want to put our best stuff forward, so we might need to ensure they're aware that there's other activities going on in our city.
Thank you, Worship. I know those dates have been discussed with the Games Council, and I think there's a possibility that they are changed. We do like those dates because we do want to show off what City of Lloydminster can do. So that was strategically placed at that time as well.
No, excellent. It's not excellent. Just as long as we've got a place for them to be put up for the night, as they say.
The Albers Hotel probably.
Yes, it's already actually been booked for Pinty, so afraid I'm going to have to move them around. So, is there any other questions or comments, Councillor? So once again, I'll look to direction from Council. Councillor Fagin.
That council will support the bid application for the 2020 Saskatchewan Summer Games, that all city facilities be provided at no cost, and the city be responsible for any deficit incurred from hosting the games.
Seconder? Councillor Monroe. Any further discussion, comments? Want to call for the question? Not seeing any. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much, Joel.
Thank you.
Your Worship, just to follow up on the item previously, the total airspace that cell 1.3 is going to create is around 445,000 cubic meters of space. So it works out to roughly $6.75 per cubic meter to construct the cell. Now, that gets us up to level of, so as we're phasing through the landfill, we get up to a level where we're equal to the other cells out there, 1.2, 1.1, which is essentially level with the waste scale. So there's going to be airspace above that, that obviously this liner will support as well. There'll be more infrastructure going up as we move up, but this isn't just for those total, but if you base it on just the total of 440,000, it is roughly $6.75 a cubic meter.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So certainly that gives us something to work with from that perspective. All right. Moving on to the agenda 7.5, operations, anything to, on that? 7.6, chief of staff. Moving on to 7.7, bylaws, city clerk.
Thank you, Your Worship. The City Commissioner bylaw before you has undergone a legal review. As a result of that legal review, there was an amendment to section 4.4. That amendment was to clarify that council can deal with other members of administration when it comes to matters relating to the Commissioner's employment relationship with the city. So it broadens council's authority when it's dealing with staff members and the Commissioner. Other than that, it is unchanged.
Thank you. And then for everybody's information, this is one of those areas that it's referred to as the commissioner, but in the case that we refer to it as in my bylaw, city manager. So I know that's confusing for some. I mean, why we refer to the city commissioner, but it's in essence that's the structure of the legal from the provincial perspective, and in turn we refer to that position as the city manager. Any comments or questions? I will look to council then for a recommendation on the city commissioner bylaw 7.7.1.
Sure.
Councilor Thorson.
Recommend that council grant bylaw 23-2017, the city commissioner bylaw, a second reading.
Seconder. Councilor Diachuk. Any further comments or questions? Not seeing any, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
I recommend that council grant bylaw 23-2017, city commissioner bylaw, a third reading.
Seconder. Councilor Diachuk. Again, I'll look to council for any questions or comments. Not seeing any, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Then moving on to item number 8, correspondence and information items. City manager. City clerk.
Thank you, Your Worship. We had one item we received from Ryan LeBlanc, the president of White Mr. Creative Whites, and he's just advised us that he's informing us that the third annual event will take place on December 21st, 2017. He thanks the city for its previous support and looks forward to our ongoing support of that event. And I will circulate that correspondence to the council.
And that was December 21st?
December 21st, 2017.
Thank you. Before long, it will be here, just like everything else. It stands still for anyone. So, from that perspective. Any other correspondence? That's all. All right. I will move to item number 9 at this time. Mayor and council reports. I have attached a report for council and as well as for the residents of the city. Just a quick synopsis of what the last month has entailed. I was able to take some family time and spend some time with my family in a few places, but one of the highlights over the late part of August was I had the opportunity to attend the SUMA school. It's called the Saskatchewan Mayor's Summer School, put on by SUMA, that gave an opportunity for newly elected mayors from last fall to meet and discuss some of the challenges and opportunities that as mayor and as council brings. It was very enlightening, and we had several guest speakers covering a whole array of items, from everything that to try not to do as a mayor to things that we need to do, as well as the important items. The discussion among the mayors was very good. I think that we just discussed a $3 million landfill. I can tell you lots of municipalities, or urban municipalities, towns and villages are faced with a $300,000 landfill, and that's their entire capital budget for almost 10 years. So they face similar problems that we face in that perspective. During my holidays, I was able to get a meeting in Ottawa when I was there with the family, with one of the staff members of the Minister of Environment and Climate Change from the federal government regarding our wastewater treatment plant. And it's still on their radar. They're aware of it. Certainly, I raised the issue with them, and we were still waiting for the letter of extension that we've received from the Saskatchewan government now. But they're fully aware of it. We're going to keep the minister, her office, abreast of it, as well as Minister Sohi, the Minister of Infrastructure, and continue to discuss with all levels of government above us the need and the importance of the wastewater treatment plant. So it hasn't fallen off the radar by any means, and it was excellent opportunity. I was able to, with fairly short notice, get in on Friday. Very casual in Ottawa on a Friday, but it was a meeting nonetheless, so it was good. Other than that, I think that we've had the opportunity to host the mid-sized city mayors and CAOs caucus a couple weeks ago in the city. Thank you again to the staff for the assistance and the efforts put in. It was well received. We highlighted the legalization of marijuana was the topic. I think most of the council was able to attend that, and gave us certainly some background information to deal with that issue, because I think that issue is not, as the city manager alluded to, we're going to be looking at it from bylaws and things like that, which will have an effect. The federal legislation that will create, require legislation of our end to deal with it on a city level at the municipal level. And I think lastly, there are several other items going on, but we did have a visit from the Philippine Consul General from Calgary. He had the opportunity to be in the city for 2 days processing or reapplications for Philippine passports, and it was an opportunity to chat with him. He was very, enjoyed our city very much. I had a chance to see him both at the hotel that they set up for the passport applications, as well as a social gathering on that Saturday night, and certainly it was very well received. He represents the president of the Philippines in Canada, based in Calgary, so it was a very interesting discussion that we had about the number of Filipino residents that we have, Filipino ancestry, as well as those that are working towards Canadian citizenship and so forth. So it was quite interesting. I'll leave the rest of the report. There's a lot of different items. As always, our city is alive and it's vibrant, and that's an exciting thing. I encourage people, if they have that invitation, to ask for council's presence. Between myself and the deputy mayor and council members, we try to oblige. So if someone has something going on they'd like to see council at, we try to support that as much as we can. That's what I have for my report. Any councilors wish to report on anything this time? Councilor Baker.
Your Worship, I know it was a little later, but I'm very happy to be able to sit here and say that we've been able to acquire services beyond Pollard as a new city manager. That's extremely important to our community, and the whole process that we went through was, I thought, was a marvelous way of going about hiring a person that we expect to lead us down the road over the next period of years. And Davis and Associates, I thought, did a really good job of guiding us along with our interim city manager, Rick, and we really appreciate that. So I know the public's aware of it, but I thought it was worth commenting today. I had a second item that had been brought up in the last couple of months, and that was purchasing limits. And I'd like to see that get back on the governance committee report or agenda, because I think we have to have a good look at that, and I think the time is opportune to do that. How much individual purchasing power the individual has, I think that's critical. If I may?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Any other councilors have anything else to report?
Just add the coffee with the community was a real powerful and positive experience from those members of the community that showed up and just said it's great to see the work you're doing. To what about the sign of signs, where school signs, the size of 30 kilometers per hour is smaller on a school sign than it is when you go slow on a speed bump. So some of those just little pieces of optics and traffic and whatever, and it certainly was a new experience for me, particularly on traffic. And I know that's a priority for the city, particularly on our arteries, how we design our roadways, how we connect. And so certainly I think it was a powerful learning experience, and I look forward to the next coffee session we do have, because the input from the members of the community is thoughtful, and it certainly was insightful as well. So I thought it was a great opportunity.
Thank you for bringing that up, Councillor, and remind people that are joining us on the live streaming that tomorrow afternoon that will coffee with the council be present again at the Legacy Center. So I invite you to drop by at about 1:30 tomorrow afternoon and join us for a coffee and a discussion if there's anything that didn't happen the other night. And I appreciate all those people that did turn up. Thank you to the council members that were able to attend. It was a great evening. I think we had a good turnout, and certainly the community had positive aspects for having that open house, that we had that opportunity to travel with people. I think we're all available, as I mentioned, on the street most days or somewhere, but I think people enjoyed the opportunity to specifically meet council in one place at one time. So from that perspective, I'd like to look to Leo Perry for a brief comment about the survey that the city has recently kicked off last week.
Thank you, Your Worship. Is that working? There we go. Thank you, Your Worship. So as you know, we're in the second week of our social needs assessment, supported by FCSS and the Lloydminster Health Foundation. The information being collected for the purpose of informing our community about the programs and social policies that we're in need of here in Lloydminster. So far, the survey has garnered a strong response. We're quite pleased with the number of responses that are coming in. We would, if the public is listening, we would sure like to see a broader array, or I guess a broader demographic of respondents in there. Still lots of time for the public to engage and to do that survey, and we thank council for their support in spreading that message to get people out there and complete the survey. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. And I think that's an excellent opportunity. The coffee house is one way to hear from people. The surveys that's currently being run, I think it's an excellent opportunity for people to sit and take some time and reflect on the questions that are there. I'd like to thank the Health Foundation working with FCSS at the city to bring that survey forward, because it's looking at the entire needs of the entire community. And anytime we can partner as agencies from the city's perspective with another agency in the community, such as the Health Foundation, it's a real treasure to be able to take advantage of that. They wanted some information, it will gain our information knowledge, and working together collaboratively, people aren't bombarded with one survey after another. So we'll take advantage of that. Thank you to the communications team for continuously fostering that. Any other comments from council before I move on? Not seeing any. I'll move to item number 10. Is there any other matters that need to be dealt with by the city council at this time? Not seeing any. I will look to the inquiries from the media.
Thank you, Your Worship. Today we have media requests for yourself, Mayor Albers, and Councillor Torres.
Thank you. And seeing that we have no in-camera session, I would look to council for direction on adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Councilor. Seconded, Councilor Fagin. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.